Artists' Choice Museum. Artists' Choice Museum in New York City was started in 1976 by many of the same younger artists who were active in the Alliance of Figurative Artists and the Figurative Coops. First exhibition, a survey of 146 contemporary figurative artists, was selected and organized by the artists of the Green Mountain, the Bowery, Prince Street, and First Street galleries, although it was a broad survey and did not exhibit just artists from those galleries. After the first show, older artists were brought into its structure. Other group shows followed in clusters of galleries on 57th Street and in museums. Benefit exhibit in 1979, 40 artists. Younger artists benefit exhibit in 1980, 61 artists. Intimate Visions in 1982, 14 artists. Narrative Sculpture in 1982, 12 artists. Painted Light in 19 By 1980, the museum was publishing a bi-monthly newsletter, and by 1982, a magazine. By 1984, the museum finally had a home, a building on West Broadway. This space only lasted until 1986, when the organization ceased to exist. Artists' Choice Museum publications. ACM Newsletter, April 1980 to December 1981, bi-monthly. Journal of the Artists' Choice Museum, Spring 1982 to Winter 1986, quarterly. Artists' Choice Museum Exhibition Catalogs. Artists' Choice Museum Benefit Exhibition 1979. Artists' Choice Museum Younger Artists Benefit Exhibition 1980. Painted Light Traveling Exhibition 1982-83. Narrative Sculpture 1982. Bodies and Souls 1983. The First 8 Years 1984. Richard McDermott Miller, The Nude in Bronze. 20 Years of Sculpture 1984. Art and Friendship 15 Friends of Fairfield Porter 1984. George McNeil, Expressionism 1954-1000, 984, 1984. Paul Risica 1985. Aristidemos Chaldes 1985. Robert Barnes, Retrospective 1956-1000, 984, 1985. The Figure in the Landscape 1985. Artists Choosing Artists 1985. Ruben Kadish, Survey 1935-1000, 985, 1986. Foundation members. Board of Artists, Paul Georges Chairman, William Bailey, Jack Beal, Joseph Giordano, Stephen Grillo, Howard Kalish, Marjorie Kramer, Tomer Levine, Richard McDermott Miller, Donald Perles, Marjorie Portnow, Paul Risica, Janet Schneider, Bill Sullivan, Sam Thurston. Board of Trustees, Hans van den Houten Chairman, Frans Skyrens, Stephen W. Wolfe, Patricia J. Murphy and Levin, and Janet Schneider. Museum Director, Robert Godfrey. The whole idea was Paul George's, but, as you know and has been stated, it was given the necessary spark by the 1976 exhibit organized by the Co-op Galleries. The boards were established in 1979, and in that year an inaugural exhibit featuring leading figurative artists was staged in 6 major New York galleries. By then, the CCF Cultural Council Foundation of New York had become the museum's fiscal manager, and through the CCF the ACM began functioning as a tax-exempt, not-for-profit organization. In 1980, the Board of Regents of the State of New York granted museum status to the organization. The Manifesto. Articles and Reviews 1976 to 1988. Asbury, John. Two Worlds and Their Way, New York Magazine, Sept. 24, 1979. Base Ruth. Artists Choose, Figurative/Realist Art, a benefit exhibition for the Artists' Choice Museum. Art News Magazine 78.10 Dec. 1979. Berlind, Robert. Recent Realism and the Artists' Choice Museum. Art Journal of the College Art Association 41, 4.2 Summer 1981, 176 minutes 180. Branson, Michael. Art, Expressionism and George McNeil at Artists' Choice Museum. The New York Times, Oct. 5, 1984. Aristidemos Chaldees at Artists' Choice Museum. The New York Times, Feb. 1, 1985. Crane, Diana. The Transformation of the Avant-Garde. The New York Art World, 1940-1985. De Kooning, Elaine. A. Chaldees remembered at Artists' Choice Museum, Art World, New York, 9.4 Jan 15 Feb. 15, 1985. Gallo, Hank. Artists' Choice Museum, nude in bronze, New York Daily News, April 25, 1984. Godfrey, Robert. Have museums slighted certain types of art, particularly figurative art? American Artist Magazine, Oct. 1979-14. Haggerty, Gerard. Art and Friendship Artists' Choice Museum. Art News Magazine 83.9 Nov. Harnett, Leela. Realist's Choice. New York Q Magazine, Sept. 22, 1979. Iovine, Julie. Old-Fashioned Art. Connoisseur, April 1985. Kramer, Hilton. Soho figures at an exhibition. The New York Times, Dec. 10, 1976. Six Gallery Show. The New York Times, Sept. 14, 1979. Art, 5 Gallery Realist Show. The New York Times, Sept. 12, 1980. Marzorati, Gerald. Artful Dodger, Soho Weekly News, Aug. 2 minutes 8, 1979. Muchnick, Susan. Insurgent Artists Draw the Line. Los Angeles Times, Jan 2, 1980. Perrault, John. New Museum, For Real It Figures. Soho Weekly News, Sept. 20, 1979. Phillips, Deborah. Artists' Choice Museum, Younger Artists. Art News Magazine, Dec. 1980. Pisac, Devana. Figurative Painting Can It Rescue Art? The New Art Examiner, 7.2 Nov. 1978, 1 minutes 9. Rayner, Vivian. Painting by 15 Friends of Fairfield Porter at Artists' Choice Museum. The New York Times, Aug. 3, 1984. Talmer, Jerry Kitchen for the Realists. New York Post, Aug. 25, 1979. Thornton, Jean. Artists' Choice Figure Art World, New York, 4.1 Sept. 22 Oct. 17, 1979.